From blueprints to bliss, let's get popping with another episode of Plan Co Playbook. Today we are working in Planet Coaster 2 over here on our western area of the park. Right there you see that platform up there. That's going to be some shops and other things eventually as we get more into this build. To the left there you see a small shop that is in the workshop. There we go, words again. My goodness, I have so much trouble with words sometimes. But yes, that is in the workshop along with this restaurant that you see right in front of you. We built that a couple of episodes ago. If you missed that, please check it out. It's in our playlist of some of our builds there. You can see that we've got a couple of janitors going in there. They are going to clean up. I saw a notification pop up that the tables were dirty and nobody had a place to sit. So these guys are cleaning up and getting it presentable for our guests. Over here you see a nice little family coming in to enjoy their lunch together, sitting under the umbrella-covered tables, and wow, look at that. What a nice place to have lunch. So we're going to look around here at our western area a little bit in a moment, and if you stay tuned, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification because we're going to start getting into the backstory of this entire park and why I'm building the western area first. Over here you can see our mine train. We're going to build a little bit on that later today. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage of the actual full build because it got corrupted at some point. But right now we're starting right here. We're going to build our entrance to our western area a little bit more by putting an old style fort entrance right here. It'll be similar to the Frontierland entrance at Disneyland Park in California, if you've ever seen that. So we're going to build that up right here and give this area a whole nice entryway. And then from there, we're going to keep building in the future. So make sure that you're staying tuned to watch all those episodes. So listen to the music and enjoy while we get into this part of the build. So here you can see we're getting the first two towers up here at the entrance to the fort, and these are where they would keep watch and guard over the entrance to the fort in the Old West. And so we're putting one of those up to make sure that nobody gets in, that we don't want to have them get in there. All right, we'll get these posts up here and then start building a roof up there so that they have some cover and they're not exposed too much to the sun. And we'll put these logs in here just to act as like walls. And I guess they were kind of like a shield too, right? You couldn't shoot bullets through them back then, and I guess arrows couldn't go through them. So these logs here will act as shields as well as walls up on the top of our towers. So we'll just duplicate those and get those over there. And then once we get these poles in place here to hold up the roof, we'll go ahead and duplicate everything and copy it over to the other side in just a moment. So we got the posts in place, copy everything, and bring it on over right there. Get that turned just right and placed. And there we go. And I noticed that I missed a little bit on the corners there, so I'm just adjusting those and getting those into place. And we'll get the other side as well. And right there. Perfect. So now it's time to start working on the roof. And so I went through a couple of different things here trying to decide what I wanted to put up there. Roof pieces apparently aren't scalable, or maybe I'm missing something there. But anyway, I went ahead and looked around and finally found what I was looking for here, and put those up and got them sized up a little bit and changed the color to get them kind of color matched to everything else. Not a perfect color match, of course, but something that just looks like it all belongs together. Copy those over, bring that, and get it into place just like that. So there's our 2 towers to the entrance area. And I had that big board there kind of as a I was going to make that into a sign, but ended up changing that a little bit. You'll see that in a few minutes, but right now just getting these fences into place, these really tall fences. I guess you'd call them walls, but these fences into place that would protect the fort and keep it secure. So we'll get the fences over here on both sides, and then we'll start getting more into the build. So here you can see I changed up the size a little bit on these pieces, and that helped me get everything a little bit more into place. And there we go. The long pieces just were a little too long to make these kinds of adjustments, and so I went to the shorter pieces to complete that wall and get it moving up the hill. So now we have the majority of this entrance set up so far, and we'll get a few other things in place here. And I may change this design up a little bit, so I haven't uploaded it yet to the workshop. We'll probably do a little bit more work on this design for the entrance. I'm thinking maybe put a walkway between the 2 towers, and that way it'll kind of give it a little more detail and make it look a little more realistic. And then we will also be adding, here I was trying to figure out the name for this thing and finally settled on Wild Canyon, but that may change also. So for now it's called Wild Canyon, but in future I think I have a couple of other names that I may use, and we'll go with that. But as I was saying here, you'll see I'm going to add some decoration here to the inside coming up soon, and just adjusting the color there for the lettering. But I'm probably going to really detail out this whole fort entrance as we get further into the series of building. So in the meantime, adding a little texture, a little bit of paint here to the surface area, just to kind of make it a little more interesting and kind of add to the theme, because you don't want just grass, just the plain default grass in there, or anything like that. We want to make it look like, like a fort, and really add to our theming, our realism, and accidentally put the wrong texture in there on the pathway when I was trying to get rid of the handrails. And then here, looking through and deciding what I wanted as the hand railing here, scaled these down a little bit and got these all into place. So while I get those into place, we will listen to a little bit of music. Okay, so we have our fences where we need them. We've got the main part of the entrance put together here, and now it's time to put a couple of gates up. And those are the gates going in here. All right, looks a little better now. So, time to add a little bit of decoration to the entrance area. So a campfire here, a couple of places to tie the horses off, hitching posts, a little bit of detail there with the rope, and of course I do add a few more things here, like this wagon, and we're going to color it up and change it up a little bit, and we'll slow down to real time here for a minute while you watch while I put the details together here and get the coloring and everything I want, scaling it down a bit so it has more of that theme park vibe rather than, you know, a big giant full-size thing. There are some details and things, some decorations I'm going to put in here, as you'll see in the video, but I'm going to probably detail that out even more later. So as time goes on, we'll get this whole area, this whole entrance area, looking a whole lot better. Now, if you have any suggestions of what you would like to see in this area, what you think might make it look better, put that down in the comments below. Let me know what you think would look great here, and we'll see if we can get that in there for you. Also, if you have any other suggestions that you would like to see in the western area and in the other areas as they come up here pretty soon when we start building out more of the park, just let me know. I'm kind of hoping that they come back with the adventure theme that we had in Planet Coaster 1, and because I have an idea already for an adventure entrance, and I don't really want to build that out until we have that. So what I'll probably do next, I think that would flow pretty good here between the western area and the next area that I have planned is probably going to be fantasy. So we'll build some of the fantasy stuff up and see if we can, you know, make it look really nice and get a really nice transition between the western area and the fantasy area. And I do have some ideas on how to do that. One of the most important things when building a park is having your transitions between one area and another, so it's not just this jarring change if you're going for like the really themey theme park, you know, like the Disney type parks. Some parks that you'll see, they whether built on Planet Coaster or in real life parks, it's just kind of this sudden change between one area and another, or maybe not even so much a separate entrance. It just kind of all clutters together. But we are going for that real theme park type feeling, the Disney type transitions, and you'll see how that works out as we get more into this series of building this park out. I will be giving you the official name of this park as we get into the story of the park itself and its founder and the whole backstory of him that I'm creating right now. So again, if you are interested in hearing the backstory and getting a little more than just a theme park build in Planet Coaster 2, make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe and follow this story along, and that way you don't miss out on anything. And again, if you haven't seen all of the videos yet, I believe this is video number 7 in the series so far. So if you'd like to go see more of the builds, just make sure to follow that playlist that's on my channel. And then you'll be able to see a lot more of these builds taking place. Here, I had forgotten that they actually have a whole campfire that already has the fire effect in it. So I placed some fire, and then I found the campfire, and I'm like, oh, well, this already has fire. So I took the fire I added back out, shrunk down this one a little bit, and placed it over where it belongs. Added some more details over here, and we are going to add a couple more details and then some animatronics. There's a log for the guys to sit on there, and then we'll add a couple of animatronics and get them into place so that we have a little bit more atmosphere over here. And then after that, we'll build some lighting in, and eventually I'll add a little bit more detail and a little more in this area. So again, if you see something, or if you have an idea of what you might like to see in this little area here as we build out our entrance a little bit more over time, just put it in the comments below, and we'll see if we can get that done for you. Now, if you have any builds you would like to share that you would like to have anybody look at, just go ahead and put it in the comments below. I don't mind checking out other people's parks. I really like looking at other people's parks. So if you have videos, I do spend a lot of time watching Planet Coaster and Planet Coaster 2 videos on YouTube. So just, you know, getting ideas and things like that, and using other people's builds for inspiration. And maybe that's why you're here today, is to just get some inspiration. Or maybe you're just looking for blueprints. But if you do have anything to share, share it in the comments below. I don't mind you plugging your channel in my comment section. So here we're going to get some lighting into place, and we're going to adjust. And I like using the actual custom colors a lot, not just for the color itself, but how bright and dark the lights are. So don't let the color picker determine everything for you. Get in there and use the custom colors. As you can see, it gives you a lot more flexibility in getting the colors as bright or as dark and the right colors that you want. And as I've mentioned before in previous videos, we will in future be going over color harmony and picking what colors go where and color theory, and how all of that works together to create a nice palette for your park and make things look not only more realistic but more inviting, and just give it a really nice vibe altogether. So getting a light into place here, and I don't know why I had that camera positioned so far off from where it needed to be, but here we go, finally getting the camera in the right position and getting that light up there, and that way we can light up our sign here. Alright, so we'll get that into place. Get it lit up with a little bit of rake on the light there, just so that it catches the texture of the wood. And we will change the color of the light to warm it up a little bit. A little too dark there, so we brighten it up a little bit, and that looks about right. And I forgot to confirm it, of course, so I had to go in and do it again. I always seem to forget that you have to confirm things in the game, so I do that every now and then, or I forget to do that. Alright, so we'll get that light there, and then we will confirm that one and copy it here in a second. There we go. And set the axis, copy it over, and now we have the light, or the sign, all lit up. Looking good. So again, I may change and put a bridge between the two towers up there later. I think that would look so much better than just a log. Right now it's just a placeholder to hold up our sign, and then here we're going to color match a little bit on our light fixture so that it doesn't stand out too much. And again, once I found a color that seems close enough, I went in and manually adjusted and got it to where it kind of blends in a lot better. So a nice custom color there. So you don't want these things to stand out too much. And here I just copy the hex code that I just used, click on the other one, open up that, and paste it, and now they match perfectly. Alright, look at that. That's our entrance right there, starting to look much, much better than just an empty path leading to a waterfall. And here we're going to go to nighttime so we can add some more lighting to this part of the entrance. So listen to some more music and watch this part build out. And there you go, we have our lighting. So our entrance to the western area is there. I was going to start putting some lamps and things, but I'm going to actually do that a little bit later. So you'll see here I stopped doing that, and now we are transitioning over to daytime. And take a look at this. A nice natural looking queue area winding through the trees and bushes. And look at that. So we have a lot of detail to work on here, but right now we're going to work on the mountain itself. So let's get started. So you can see what I did here was I originally had some placeholder peaks there that I had sculpted into the land, and as I'm getting these big rocks into place to actually create the mountain, I'm just kind of going through and clearing out the placeholders using the terrain tool to just kind of push them inward so that the rocks themselves will be the mountain and instead of the terrain being the mountain. And so this is another thing that I really like about the scaling in the game. In Planet Coaster 1, we couldn't scale rocks like this, and so everything that was made of lots and lots of rocks ended up looking kind of weird. It ended up looking kind of like just a pile of rocks. Whereas here, we can literally make an entire mountain, and if you place these just right and just kind of blend them together a little bit, it ends up looking pretty good. It ends up looking like one big mountain instead of just a bunch of boulders all stuck together. So we'll just continue the build here. Okay, so we're getting a lot of these rocks in place now. It's starting to fill out and look better. We got a little bit of a, not really a tunnel, what would you call that? Kind of like a little bit of a canyon there that we're building in, where the train is coming in really close to those rocks and making its way around a turn. So it did require a little bit of work here and a little bit of sculpting to get everything in place. And, you know, everything in theme park is all about the details. In any theme park that is worth it, you know, that's worth spending a lot of time in, everything is about the details. And again, this just takes a little bit of time, but, you know, if you have the patience, it can really work out for you. So again, eventually, once this entire attraction is built and it's ready to go and all the rocks are in place and everything's built out, I'll make sure that this entire build is in the workshop. And that way, once it's fully built out, you won't have to worry about sculpting the land around it or anything like that. You'll just be able to place it and everything will already be there for you. So one of the other great things about sculpting here, especially with these rocks, is you don't have to, I mean, it's still a lot of pieces, But imagine if you were still on Planet Coaster 1, and some of you may still be. There's nothing wrong with the game. I still play it occasionally, just because of the availability of pieces and all that to build in there. But imagine if you had to build this entire mountain the way I'm doing today, using rocks to build out this mountain and not having the ability to scale. You would have millions of pieces in there just trying to build the mountain by itself. So this is, again, one of the great things that the engineers and developers over at Frontier have really helped us out by making more things scalable. The great thing about Frontier is they're really listening to us these days. Just finding out what it is that we really want in the game, what we would really like to see, what improvements can be made. And so congrats to the guys at Frontier. We really appreciate you all. If you ever happen to watch this video, on the off chance, the 0.001 chance that you ever see this video, guys at Frontier, thanks for doing what you do. You've really made this such a great game so far. And I'm totally looking forward to all the future advancements that are going to come as this game goes forward in time here. I really can't wait to see what DLCs are coming up soon, any other free updates they might offer. What updates and what DLCs are you hoping for? What do you think? What would you like to see, in other words? Are they some of the themes that are returning from previous games, maybe, like the spooky theme and the studio theme? I know those are two of my favorites that I'd like to see come back. Holiday theme would be nice. Gosh, there were just so many. Oh, Adventure. Adventure is a big one. I can't wait for that to come back. But I am so glad that they brought back Western, because Western is one of my favorite, obviously, one of my favorite themes in a theme park and in Planet Coaster 2, and in Planet Coaster 1. So I'm so glad they brought Western back and that they improved a lot about it. And hopefully we'll see some more animatronics coming from it, as they've only got a small number of animatronics so far. So hopefully they'll bring back a lot more of the animatronics that they had before, along with maybe some new ones. That would be great. Here we're just getting the top of the mountain here all set up and making it look good. And the way I set that up there is almost kind of like its own berm. So if you're familiar with Disney parks, you know that they have berms around the park, usually big earthen walls or lines of trees and other things that form a barrier between the inside of the theme park and the world outside of the theme park. And so, that's why when you're in Disney parks, you don't see freeways and side streets unless you're up on something really tall. You might see something momentarily. But here in this park, we're going to design in that same way. We're going to build berms around things so that the outside world doesn't interfere with the inside world of our theme park. So over here, we're just getting this side of the mountain into place. And we'll move some of these trees out of the way. I may put some more trees up there again, but I know I'm going to put some props. I already have some great ideas for props and other things, some scenery that we'll have in the ride later that aren't there yet. We won't get it all done today, of course, but we will do it in the future. So again, if you'd like to see this build continue and the improvements that'll come with it, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you wouldn't mind, give the video a like if you happen to like it. Give it a dislike if you don't like it. But also, again, add your comments. I'd really like to know what you would like to see me build, and maybe I can help you get some inspiration. So over here we can see we've got a large majority of the mountain built up so far. And we'll add some more down here. And from there, I've got a couple of other things that we'll be working on a little bit later in the video. Okay, so we have the majority of the mountain built up, and over here I am going to kind of sculpt out an area because I have a plan. You can see the kind of flat ground toward the bottom of the screen right there, right up front. That I have an idea for. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of sculpt up this area here on this side of the mountain, because at some point right there on that flat area at the bottom of the screen, that's going to be a vista point of sorts, and we'll reveal that later, of course, as we get into it. But I wanted to make sure that I had a nice vista point here where we can eventually build on that flat area and have it be an overlook. So one of the things about Disney parks and other major theme parks, I always mention Disney just because it's my favorite, is when you have areas that are near each other that may be different themed or even within the same area. I haven't decided yet if this will be a continuation of the western area on this side, but I do know that I have at least a couple of ideas what will go here in this new vista point that I'm building. So I'm adding water here and getting that tree out of the middle of the lake. But as I was saying, you know, whether it's a similar area or a differently themed area in theme parks, when you do have areas that come together, you generally want to have something to look at. You don't want to just have fences and walls everywhere. I could just put a big fence there and change up the theme, or put some buildings along the edge of that raised area in the front of the screen, in the bottom of the screen there, but you know, and just kind of hide it, and then the mountain would just kind of stick up behind it. But I would rather have something there that is more of a place where people can be. So we'll work on that later in future videos, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So right now I'm just getting these trees into place, making them look a little bit better, and from there, whoops, a little bit under the map there, that's starting to look pretty good. I'm thinking right there in that circle a little waterfall, so that's a possibility as well. So you see, we've got a lot of raised track in this ride, and we're going to eventually need to add more ground and bridges and supports and things, because these coasters tend to ride on ground or on something. The track isn't usually just raised up by itself like that. So eventually we'll do that. Here we are going to add some detail here to this area. And so the idea here was add a couple of mine carts and a little mine going into the mountain there, and so you'll be able to see that happen right now. Alright, so here you can see we're building a mine shaft here. I went ahead with this. I may change that later because to me it looks a little bit too much. But at the same time, I just want it to be a little detail that you just kind of see as you're flying by on the coaster. Alright, so we have that there. It's more of just kind of scenery. It's not something that needs to be fully, like, super realistic right here, because again, it's just something you see as you're going by very, very quickly. So we'll get a couple of oil lanterns in there just for light. And then we will light up the area a little bit. A little bit of a nice nighttime blue, and then light up the inside of the little mine shaft there a little bit. And again, forgetting to confirm, I do that so often. Here we're going to add a couple of lights to get the back of the area up. And again, this is just something that gives you a quick little look as you're flying by on the coaster. A couple of dynamite crates. Light those up. Another oil lantern, and then another animatronic over here. This guy just kicking back and watching everybody go by, guarding the mine shaft with his little 6-shooter there. And we'll give him a little bit of extra light just to highlight him a bit, make him a little more visible. Warm up the light. Well, maybe cool it down a little bit. But anyway, there you go. Alright, so we have at least a little bit of detail in there, and I do have ideas of what else I want to put in there, just to kind of add more detail, and we'll get to that later. But here is a daytime look of our western area, and look at this view right here. I always come back to this spot. I just really like this view right there. From right by the rails there, you just see the mountain peeking up over the top. You can see the view from the restaurant there. That little empty space back there, we'll put some stuff in eventually, but look at that. So far, it's looking pretty good. You can see over here, we're going to take a walk into the area and let you walk through the queue, and finally, you're going to get a little bit of a preview ride. Well, actually 3 preview rides on our Mine Train coaster. I'm going to do a daytime ride, a golden hour ride, and then a nighttime ride, just so you can see what we have so far. I have so many plans for the effects and the lighting and animation and scenery in the attraction, and we'll get to that eventually over time. That may be the next video. I'm not sure if I want to do that yet, or build up the shops that go on that little rise to the right of the screen. But we will get to all of it eventually. You can see the bridge up ahead there that we built last time, and that's a walkway across up to the restaurant. Couple of another set of stairs there, and the beautiful sunlight coming through the trees. So now up here at this bend, you'll see right here on the right hand side where the path curves to the right, about where this janitor is about to walk. That's where I'm going to branch off into another area of the park. So we'll start developing that soon. So now just enjoy the walk through the queue and the scenery, and then we'll get on the ride. So as we make our way through the queue, you'll see there are a few things I need to adjust, like that big bush there that sticks out right in front of you and you end up scratching yourself all over it. There are a few things I'll need to adjust that I haven't gotten to yet, and you'll be able to see that in the future probably. I don't know, I may not include all the tiny little detail changes, but some things like that need to be adjusted. And then, of course, I'm going to add a few more things to this queue to make it a little more interesting. But for now, it's just a peaceful walk all the way up to the train station, and then you'll get your first ride on it. One of the things that you'll notice here is I brought the queue really close to some of the track area, which I think is really cool. It lets you see, as the trains are going by, so those will definitely stay. I just need to adjust some of the way the track is just kind of floating in the air like that with some supports. We're going to add more supports and more theming to make it a little bit more like an actual Mine Train coaster. And look at that right there. That is awesome. I really like that, putting that right next to the queue. So, when you build these kinds of attractions in your parks, try to do that. Try to make them a little bit interactive with the actual attraction sometimes. It just really makes a difference in the way your park feels and the realism and how everything looks. You can see here we've got a nice little waterfall next to the queue, and you can actually see that from the coaster when you're going up and around that turn there that you can see. And we are almost at the station. So again, this isn't a complete queue yet. There are some things I still need to put in place. And look at that train go by. Right up over everybody in the line there and into the station. So we will make some improvements, and you'll see those in future videos. And up here we are just about into the station. You'll see some more details over here that I've added over time. And again, if you didn't hear it in the earlier part of the video, in the future we're going to start getting into the storyline of this park, the creator of the park, and other things that I've been putting together, and that way you can kind of see where all the inspiration came from. Look at that train going by. Let's hop into the station here, look around a little bit. There's a lot more detail to add in here, but I've got some roof truss and lighting and other things, and I need to fix those walls so they don't strobe like that. But here comes our train, and let's take a ride. Oh, by the way, the music you'll hear right here that's attached to the ride, that'll go away eventually. I'll be adding some custom music and other sound effects and things. But for now, let's just enjoy the ride. And look at that, a nice ride during the daytime. So now we're going to ride during golden hour just to give it a little bit different look. And some of the things we'll be doing in here, you can already probably imagine why I've got that track in here all twisted up and bumpy and everything. We're going to add some effects in there later. So if you're wondering, what the heck is this guy doing building it like this? Well, you'll find out as you stay tuned and watch in the future and see what we do in upcoming videos. And once again, we head back into the station for our nighttime ride, and this time we're going to do a chase view so you can see it from behind the train. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite part of the ride? What do you think of this one so far? I think the smoothness in coasters in Planet Coaster 2 is so much better than in the past. The smoothing tools are just really great, and I think it makes for a better coaster and a better building experience. But let me know what you think about Planet Coaster 2 so far, and what they're doing with it. So let's go ahead and take our nighttime ride, and then we'll talk about a little bit of the future of where we're going with our builds. Alright, so once again, as we pull back into the station, I just wanted to ask you what you think about all of this and where we're going in the future with this build. Would you like to see me do more of the Western stuff, or would you like me to start moving into the fantasy area? Let me know, but we will build more on this coaster. In the meantime, build bigger, build bolder, and may your dreams become your reality. We'll see you in the next episode of Planco Playbook.